Hi there, everybody. Um, it's taken me a while to get around to get record this. As I said in previous videos, that I personally was under several attacks, as well as my family. Well, the attacks may have stopped on me, but they kept going with my family. With the result that my wife received a very, very serious injury, which incapacitated her for the past 6 weeks and is still ongoing. So I have to take care of her. And that's taken up all of my time, which was the intention, I suppose. Now, what I wanted to say is, and I hope it's worth it for you guys, that both my family and I are going through all this. Now, I wanted to come on before now, but I just did not have the opportunity. So what I wanted to chat about was these two comets, Triae Atlas and Swan. And when Triae Atlas first appeared, it immediately got my attention. Not for just curiosity, but because I knew the last time this appeared was 26,000 years ago. I just knew it. Now, every 26,000 years? Apparently, they come around at the end of each cycle. The last time they were here was at the end of the last cycle, 26,000 years. They are saying now that it was 26,000 years ago since they did appear. How they did work that out is beyond me, but I just knew that it was 26,000 years. And when Swan showed up, I knew it. Something big is going on. Something really big is going on here. And I said, and the last time was 26,000 years. Now, at the end of each 26,000 years, we come to the end of what is called the precession of the equinox. And that each precession takes 26,000 years, the full cycle, to go through all the signs of the zodiac. It spends, we are just gone into Aquarius, and we'll be in Aquarius for 2,000 years, give or take. And there are 12 zodiac signs, and each sign is 2,000 and odd years, give or take, a couple of years. So that adds up to around 26,000 something years, maybe a few other years thrown in. And that's like a clock. And that's what actually they say in the law of one, that it is like a clock. That time is like a clock. There's no stopping it. It keeps coming around. But it's a 3-year cycle. And the third year is called the grand cycle. And we're now at the end of the grand cycle. So what happens at the end of the cycle? Everything changes, including you, the humans. The human race changes big, big, big time. And every living creature on the planet changes. Humans, I suppose, in a way, are in the third dimension, are like a caterpillar. And they're just waiting to transform into the crystalline body. That's like the caterpillar changes into a butterfly. Humans are changing into the crystalline body. They're getting rid of the carbon body. By the way, this is where the story comes in, and God made humans from clay. Clay is carbon. That's what you're made of. And God didn't come down with a shovel and started standing on the shore and started making humans out of digging holes out of the ground. That's not what happened. But I went into all that in all of the videos. Now, in the videos, I said, when I spoke about the flash, the solar flash, that was 2 years ago, I think. I spoke about it. And I said at the time that the solar flash will occur when something comes behind the sun and causes the flash. Something, I didn't know what it was, but something will come from behind the sun and that will spark the flash. Spark the flash. Nice term of phrase. And then when I found out that both Three-Eye Atlas and Swan are going behind the sun at the same time, I said, is this it? Are they going to cause the flash? Because they are affecting the sun as is. There's a lot more CMBs coming out of there. And the sun, it does affect you individually. It affects everything on the planet. You're connected to the sun because you're the star. And I don't want you star seeds. Get over that bloody term, star seeds. You're stars. Period. Stop. If you're star seeds, that means your thing growing is time for growing is stopped. Become stars that you really, really are. They're actually stars. Very, very powerful stars. I keep saying that you're very, very powerful stars. And you have enormous power, but you probably don't realize it. And you may notice a change in yourselves as each CME in the sun is affecting you. It's raising you up. It's affecting your. How do you know it's affecting you? How do you know you're changing? You may already have spotted something. You may be changing yourself and you haven't noticed it. I've noticed it over the past couple of months, especially very, very strongly over the past, well, not even a couple, month, 2 months, not too sure. And strange things started to are happening to me. Very, very strange. For instance, I had to get a taxi ride, stop a taxi, get into the taxi, and I said, okay. There was a lady driver, by the way. And so I got in, told her where I was living, and she took me home. When I got there, I said, what's the damage? She said, no charge. And I was gobsmacked, no charge. So how do you make a living? No charge, you're okay. Thank you very much. And away she went. But these things are starting to happen. You may find out that things, people are becoming very, 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 very gentle spoken to you. They're more pleasant to you, more agreeable to you. Okay? I'm out of strangest things have happened to me. Really, that the taxi was just an instant, just an example. A free ride from a taxi driver. I've never heard of such a thing, but yet it happened. But that's just one of the many, many, many things that has happened. If you think about it, and you may have noticed it already, that people are reacting to you quite differently. They're much more outgoing to you and more friendly to you. That's because your vibrations are high, and they don't know why, but they're attracted to you, and because now you're giving out these beautiful signals from your body, because your body is changing, becoming more crystalline. But people don't know, they're just attracted to you, and they're all smiling at you and trying to help you any way possible. They'll do anything for you. So these are one of the signs to look out for. I mean, I could go into a garage and people in other cars come over to help me out. Really? Just go, oh, we'll help you. I mean, not exactly disabled, but they want to help me just for the sake of helping me. Everybody is friendly towards you. And that's a real sign. That's a giveaway sign. So if things are happening to you like that, and if they haven't happened to you yet, keep an eye out. Don't force things. Okay? I mean, I wasn't expecting a free taxi ride. I mean, that's the person's, that's that girl's livelihood. We said, no, it's fine. Fair enough. She would not take money. So, where was I? Yeah, my videos with Dermot Kelly, I say that the sun will be activated, the flash will be activated by something coming behind the sun, from behind the sun. Now, are those comets going to activate the sun as they're already interfacing with it? Are they going to cause the flash? We'll know very soon. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But in my last video, was the one before it, I explained that usually when I say things, they're inclined to happen. And I did say that 2 years ago, that something is going to come from behind the sun. I didn't know what it was going to be, but it's a bit of a coincidence, and I don't believe in coincidences, from about things will activate the sun from behind the sun and cause it to flash. Will it happen this time? We have very, very little time to find out. So if it does happen, that means that a lot of people are not prepared. In my videos with Dermot, I said that the amount of people that will transition is around 30%. Not everybody, 30%. Now, Alex Collier, who gives great information, you should really pay attention to Alex, what he says. And he gives out great information 90% of the time, but that 10%, I say, Alex, that's wrong. But it's very, very few and far between. He gives a figure of between 7 and 10%, as little as 7 and 10%. I gave it 30%, and I thought like even 30% is very, very low. But when you look at this chap that was murdered, that was shot, allegedly, Charlie Kirk, I mean, up until then, I never even heard of the guy, but yet he was all over the place. Everybody. And the reaction to his death, people are very happy that he's dead. A lot of people, from what I can gather in the States, are happy that he's dead. So looking, and I said, why are these people delighted because somebody is dead? Somebody's out to be murdered. Murdered he was. Allegedly, because there was a lot of talk maybe he wasn't shot. It wasn't him. So if it's true, whether it was true or not, the reaction is still the same. People are delighted that this guy was shot. And the amount of people that were saying that and are delighted that he's dead makes me wonder about Alex's number. Maybe Alex is more closer to the actual number than I am. And I said 30%. But it's certainly not any more than 30%. So what type of people will ascend? Who are they? What are they like? Well, I've given you a lot of instances of the feeling that people are going through, even in the last videos, and the darkness that is there to try and prevent it. They know what's coming. The dark side, the negative side, the evil side, they're well aware. And if the flash happens, you know, it's bye-bye time for them. They don't want it to happen, and they don't want you departing. When you depart, they lose control, because now you're up in a higher vibration, looking down at third dimension. So you can interface with third dimension, and you can control things within limits, as everybody has free will. Even on the other side, you still have to observe free will. Like I have to observe free will all the time, as I'm consciously aware of what I can do. So that's the other thing. When you're aware of free will, very aware of free will, you cannot not see it when it happens around you with other people. You'll spot it straight away. Immediately you'll spot it and say, whoops. You won't judge. Never judge anybody. Never judge. That's that person's free will. Okay? But you will see a person is in the ego, even people that say they're way up there. Oh, and they're on YouTube all the time. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. But you know, just by looking at them and listening to them, no, they're not. Because once you see ego the first time and recognize it, you cannot not recognize it from then on. You just know, oops, ego. That person's in the ego, but does not realize it. Everybody to read. It's a bloody difficult book to read. It's a very heavy going. That and Course in Miracles is another beautiful book, but heavy reading. And if you can stick with it, it means you're drawn to it and it's for you. But if you give up, so crikey, I can't believe I just can't get my head around this. If you start saying that, then it's not for you. So the Law of One says that we're now coming into the end of the grand cycle where everything has to change. Everything, everybody will have to change or get left behind. They'll go through more 3D experiences, while those that are prepared and ready to move on and know they're moving on, can feel they're moving on, not just because, well, I believe in Jesus, I'm moving on. It doesn't work like that, friends. It doesn't work like that. It's getting into the spirituality side of things is a process. Okay, it's a process. And if you've been working, which I've been trying to explain to people, work on yourself. Work on your spiritual side. The spiritual side will get you there. Okay? It's your spirituality and your DNA. You have 2 strands. You originally had 12. The flashes and all that will start reviving your 12 strands. If you stay in 3D, no, you'll stay with 2 strands. Having 12 strands makes you invincible. But you've got to be prepared for it and make all the right calls from a spiritual point of view with your 12 strands. If you're thinking what you can do now with just 2, and suddenly now you have 12, whoops, You're like Superman, better than Superman, or Superwoman, or whatever. So yeah, that's Three-Eye Atlas and the Swan, and they're due to go behind the sun between now and bloody hell, when is it? No, between the 8th of October and the 23rd of October, I think. They're going to disappear behind the sun. That to me is too much of a coincidence. So let's see what happens. Either way, something is going to happen. Either way. Once they disappear behind the sun, they're doing something, whatever it is. And they've been here 26,000 years ago. So they've been circling and in a grand cycle, in the grand circle for 26,000 years, and they're back. So why do they keep coming back like a clock, as it says in the Law of One? Like the striking of the clock, bang on the end of the precession, 26,000 years, things happen. And on top of that, now that the Earth has and the solar system has moved into the what is called the Oort cloud, which we haven't been in before, things are all over the place, topsy-turvy. You will, if you've noticed, and I'm sure you have, all of these shootings and murders and stabbings and everything that's going on. The crime rate has gone through the roof. That's because of what the change is coming in. Those that are on the positive side would become, or the enlightened side, are getting more enlightened. They're going through the change. On the darks and the non-positive or the negative side, they're changing more into the negative. So they're becoming more active. While you're becoming more active on the spiritual side, they're becoming more active on the dark side. This is where you're seeing all the killings, all the wars, especially in Israel and the Palestinians. By the way, when I spoke about Trump and said that guy is evil, have you seen anything that would make me change my mind that this guy is not evil? You're responsible for one child's death. Even if you're responsible for one child's death, and you didn't do anything to prevent it, but you're responsible because you supplied the means for have that child be killed. You're just as guilty as the person who actually did the deed. It makes you just as guilty. And no matter what you did afterwards, that is still there. Even if you try and do all the good deeds afterwards, killing a child is a no-no. Killing thousands of children doesn't make it any easier. Oh, he's killed so many children, let's kill another few more. It doesn't make any difference. If you notice, the Israeli soldiers are doing that they've become involved in all of the negativity and all the killings, that they're now completely, become brainwashed with it. They just don't see it anymore. But it will affect them. They're just as responsible as that crowd they have leading them. And the God that they're worshipping, who instructed them thousands of years ago, they're still worshipping that God, Yahweh. That's who's their God, is Yahweh. He's a bloodthirsty SOB. I don't hear any thunder, although it is very dark and raining outside. We probably will have thunder, but not just now. I'm still here. And this is why they don't want me talking. Because he instructed them to take over all of the neighborhood around them, kill everyone. Man, woman, child, animal, donkey, cow, everything, if they didn't worship him. And that's who they call God. Which is why I don't like using the term God when I'm speaking of the creator, source, Father God or Mother God, whichever you choose. I just call him Father God because I'm used to it. But I even said Father God there. Even that God term has implications. I don't like using that word when I'm referring to that, the Father source, because by implication, people are thinking I'm talking about that guy in the Bible, that son of a bitch in the Bible. But there, the Israelis now are continuing that cycle, that order, obeying this guy. And he's not any good. He's quite evil, matter of fact. He's very, very evil. So, yeah, anybody involved with him, helping him in any way, is guilty. There's no two ways around it. You just can't avoid it. That's why Trump can't avoid, no matter what he does now. Even if he walked on water, that is now hanging over his head, and all those who support him. All those who support him and in favor of what he's doing. You can support him, but if you're against what he's doing and see it and speak about it, then that kind of puts you in the clear. But you got to do something about it. You just cannot sit there on your hands and do nothing. You got to voice your objection to what this guy is doing. Because even if he walks on water now, his hands are tainted. He's tainted. He's got blood on his hands. And those that follow him, they've got blood on their hands. The blood of children. And Jesus even warned about the harming one child. He always spoke about children. Don't harm children. And I can understand why. You do not harm children. And he's involved in the harming of thousands, murdering thousands. There's no way of embellishing this. Murdering thousands of children and their mothers. But the reason that they're killing the children deliberately and their mothers is that they're doing away. To kill the children, you end the race. You kill the mothers, there's no more children, there's no more race. The race will die out. And that's what they're hoping. By eliminating all the children, all the mothers, there's no breeding. They can't breed fast enough. So the race, Palestinian race, will die out. And then they can turn their attention, once they've eliminated enough of the children, enough of the mothers, that they can't continue their race, they'll turn their attention to other things around them, which is happening already. As they can see the end now of their plan. By wiping out the children, there's no future for the Palestinians. And the mothers are not there either, so they can't produce. No women, no children. No children, no future. Look, that is what they're doing deliberately. Deliberately targeting the mothers and the children. Finish the race there. Keep killing them, keep killing, killing, which was the orders of their God. If they don't follow me, kill them. kill their family. Everybody belonged to him. Anything belonged to him, wipe them out if they don't worship me. Palestinians are not worshiping their God. Wipe them out, which was Yahweh's instruction from day one. But they're continuing that by attacking their neighbors because they don't bow down to Yahweh. They don't worship Yahweh. And Yahweh says, if they don't worship me, kill them. Wipe them out. No mercy shown. No mercy. If you look up that Bible, that book, you'll see these were his instructions. He was the one that brought in circumcision, by the way. So, yeah, and that's why I don't like using the term God, because somehow it references that clown. Let me see. I may as well tell you guys that there's a lot of things showing up on YouTube about negative blood. And they're saying the negative blood is this and the negative blood is that. Well, I'm negative blood. Actually, so is my wife. Believe it or not. Didn't know she was negative. I didn't know I was negative when we met. But yeah, we're both negative. On the blood side, that is. So where does that leave us? And that blood is not evil blood, by the way. Quite the opposite. Now, I don't know if there's anything more that I wish to say. We just have to watch and see what happens with these two comets, alleged comets. And if I'm not right this time, is there something else going to come back? That is what is going to happen eventually. Something is going, if not now, in the future, but something is going to come from behind the sun to trigger it. We may never know what is going to trigger this. But now we know there are two huge comets going behind it, very, very active, and that comes around 26,000 years, every cycle, at the end of every cycle. And causes and at the same time as the flash. It has happened before. The last time there was very, very few to move on, very, very few. And some of them decided that they would stay to help mankind rather than ascend. The two. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. I know now I have loads more to tell you, but I must do something for my wife. And hopefully we'll see you on the other side. It's very interesting. So you have a nice day, and hopefully we see you soon. Enjoy.